This is the only route into Aguililla, the town at the heart of a war between two cartels in Michoacan, southwest Mexico. No journalists have been here since the Jalisco New Generation cartel advanced to take the land around it. We've been told to take this dirt track over the mountains to get in, but it's not simple. We've just seen in quick succession a checkpoint that we had to pass through with armed guys by the side of the road, a burnt out truck, and then the letters, the initials of the Jalisco New Generation cartel actually scrawled on the road itself. There's no real doubt about whose territory we're in. When we pass the second checkpoint, they want to talk to us.
We don't have any necessity to rob. We're drug traffickers. It's true that we're in a fight, a struggle, but we're fighting for the rights of each of us and for the people.
They're on a propaganda push to go with their advance into this territory. They say they'll let through civilians who dare to travel. Finally, we make it to the town they're fighting for, Aguililla. On the outskirts, it looks like a ghost town. It might well be one soon. Thousands have fled the violence and isolation here. Those left have no one to help them. We didn't see a single policeman on our way, or a soldier, despite the fact the army actually has a barracks in the town. Residents say they rarely patrol. Nearer the centre are signs of life. La Parrilla Taqueria has been serving the village for 2 decades, but Maria Contreras says it's hard to keep it going.
It's affecting us a lot. Everything's got more expensive. It's really hard to bring in supplies.
That's because the main road to the nearest city, Apatzingan, has been closed by another group, Carteles Unidos. They're fighting the Jalisco cartel and have the area under siege. Petrol has to be smuggled in. The garage is out of action. Gas is scarce, so is medicine and bottled water. Farmers say they can't get their crops or cattle to market. And the siege has had other costs. When Daniela and Gabriela's granddad had a burst stomach ulcer, they couldn't get him to the hospital on the other side of the blockade. He died.
I felt so helpless because we couldn't do anything. It was out of our hands. And angry too. It's not right that we're living like this. And he wasn't the only one. At the same time, a lady had a miscarriage because she was trying to get to the hospital and couldn't.
We heard more stories. Townspeople killed in the crossfire between the cartels on the road or in the town itself. There's a nightly soundtrack here. You can probably hear that. That's the sound of gunfire. We're just outside of the village church. Night has only just fallen and they've started shooting here. And where are the authorities? Absent, say the townspeople, until a surprise visit by the governor last week, just as election season began. But when a teacher dared to protest to him, he did this. It enraged many in Aguililla. When we visited, they gathered to demand one thing.
Number one, free transit on the road from Aguililla to Apatzingan and security for those travelling.
The state security minister also came by while we were visiting to promise just that. But he didn't talk to the people of Aguililla. Instead, he held a press conference outside the town for media he brought with him. We joined them, and I asked him repeatedly if he was aware of the criminal checkpoints.
Well, if you tell me where, if you pass me the coordinates when we finish.
He denied knowing of them. The next day, we tried to leave, passing burnt-out, empty towns, a sign perhaps of Aguililla's future. But we couldn't get through to Apatzingan. It's not even 24 hours since the Secretary of Public Security came down this road and said that it was now open and there would be free transit. We've just tried to get down it. We've already heard that it's blocked, so we're having to go back down to Aguililla. Eventually, the police filled in the trench that one of the gangs had dug across it. That night, the criminals dug it out again. The highways closed once more. The siege and suffering continues. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Aguililla.